Geraldo, first of all, just as a general point, you've had a few weeks now of matches, kind of reached the end of the first month of the season. How, on a general point, have you found your early days at Notts?
Yeah, it's been a good start in the league. We've been unbeaten, won three, drew three, I think, and it's been a good start. Uh, the lads are very good, good bunch, and the gaffer's very good as well. And overall, it's been a good start.
And especially good over the last weekend with a couple of potentially tricky ties. Halifax obviously struggling a bit, particularly a home game against Solihull. To get maximum points out of that's terrific, wasn't it?
Yeah, the two games over the 3 days, like two wins of, as you've seen in the table, they've helped a lot. And as you said, Halifax and Solihull Moors last season, those both playoff teams, and obviously Moors got into the final, but we saw Halifax in the first half. They was good, so it wasn't an easy game as well. But we come in at half time 2-0 up, and it's credit to the lads sticking to it. And against Moors, we dominated throughout, and it was good to pick up 6 points.
There's only you and Chesterfield unbeaten in the league so far. Are those the sort of things that you look at and take a bit of confidence from?
Yeah, of course. No one likes losing, and the fact that we haven't lost yet is a good thing, and we want to keep that run going as much as we can. It's always a good feeling as well, and it keeps the spirits up between the lads in training as well, and going into the next game thinking, well, we haven't lost yet, and we don't want to, and we're not going to.
I wonder how you've found the difference between National League North, where you were last year, of course, with Kidderminster. Not have signed a few players from that division, and we're seeing you all sort of settle into life in the National League pretty quickly. I just wonder what differences you've noticed, if any, in the sort of quality between the two divisions.
Uh, Obviously, there's better players in this league because in the league below there's a few part-time teams, but that doesn't mean that the quality is a bit lower. I think maybe a bit like fitness levels because from here you got to be from 0 to 90. Everyone's still on top, but I'd say the quality of players is maybe a bit better in this league and tempo's a bit faster, and you've always got to be on it. You can't afford to make mistakes because you get punished the higher up you go. But as I said in my interview at the start of the season, there's some good players in the league below, and there's you can see that the signings that we have made, they've had a big effect in this league. So yeah, it's a big difference, but I thought everyone stepped up to the plate well.
Yeah, it certainly seems so, doesn't it? And we're seeing Macaulay Langstaff hit the goals. I'm sure you'll have come across him last season, banging the goals in there as well. All of you just seem to be adapting. I'd like to ask you a bit about Macaulay because he's got so many goals already this season, which is remarkable when you've just joined a new club and you hit the ground running in that way. I just wonder what you make of him and what a threat he poses.
Uh, I already knew what he was bringing to the table. I saw it myself last season when he scored a few goals against us, and I kind of followed them because they set the standard high in their league. And as I said, him and Keds, that was very good. And Maka, you can already see he scored what 16 6 I think it is. So to be honest, I'm not surprised, and long may it continue. To be honest, it's going to help him and the squad.
It seems like you've all adapted. I mean, got fitted in very quickly, and having a change of head coach as well. But he's been very keen to keep a style much the same as last year. Has it felt very easy to sort of slot into what's been a pretty established way of playing that Notts have had now for a little while?
Yeah, of course. I like playing anyway. Like I wanted to keep it low and mix it up sometimes. But as soon as we come in, the gaffer implemented his style. Like he just kept drilling it into our minds in training, and you can see now the players that start the game, and he's rotated the squad multiple times. Everyone knows what their job is inside out. So the players that are coming off the bench are doing the same job, if not better, than the players that are coming off. So the gaffer's done well to like drill it into our heads what we need to do, and you can tell on the pitch that we all bounce off each other.
Well, you can see with the goal against Solihull in particular, I think just about every player touched the ball in the build up to that. You all seem very in tune with each other and very across what everybody's job is.
Yeah, of course. As like we've got a certain goal kick that we practice in training. We do 11v11s quite often in training, and it's as I said, we just keep drilling it into our minds so it becomes second nature. And we don't need to think about it. We just react like we don't need to react. We're more proactive. We know once the ball goes to someone where the other person needs to be, and yeah, it's looking good and it's working.
Long trip away this weekend. A bit difficult to know looking at their results, quite what to expect for them. But I guess you're just going there in confidence, aren't you? You're one of the informed teams.
Yeah, of course, but we're gonna go to every team and think that we need to get the 3 points. But every team, there's no easy tie. There's no easy team to play against, to be honest. All the teams are difficult in their own way. Everyone's playing different styles, different players. We've just got to make sure that we go into the game knowing what we do best and perform, basically.
Good stuff. Thanks very much. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Ollie, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, just a couple of bits. First of all, obviously, since your first start or your first game for Notts was away at Gateshead and you played at centre half, and then obviously as we saw in at Halifax and then at the game of the weekend on Monday, at Solihull, you operated in central midfield. Do you prefer that position, or is it a position that you're used to? You played there before.
I prefer midfield. I do prefer it. I think there's a bit more freedom, I'd say, because I do like going forward a bit more as well. But I don't mind doing like the dirty side of the game as well. But I started off, like when I initially started off in academy, I was a midfielder and got dropped down to centre half, and it's kind of stuck since then. But obviously last season at Kiddie I did play a few games in midfield when needs be. But as I said, I thought I'd done well when I was there, and obviously in the games that I have come on in midfield, I thought that I've done well again. So I'm just ready for wherever the gaffer needs me to play.